you again, and welcome to a brand new series of Art Attack. Ooh, thank goodness you're here. Do you know what? I'm bursting with new ideas. Take a look at this lot. How's about a brilliant way to cling onto a page in your book? And lots of fantastic tips on how to draw castles, plus an exciting, super speedy, big Art Attack. Where do you keep your pocket money? In a piggy bank? Well, I've just opened a savings account at the doggy bank. And there he is. Look at that. Put your pennies in the slot and open his nose when you want to make a withdrawal. Good, isn't he? Want to make one? Well, it's easy in 4 parts. A 4-part attack. First, make your dog's head. Now, for that, you're going to need to clean out an old plastic milk bottle. Take off the lid and put it to one side for the moment. Then take some scissors and very carefully cut off the handle. Now, this can be quite tough, so you may need some help to do this. Then neaten it up by covering over the holes with a couple of pieces of tape. Next, you need to cut a slot on this top part of the head, and do this by piercing a hole with a sharp pencil first. And this allows you to get your scissors in and make cutting out easier. In they go. Much easier. When you've neatened up that slot, you'll have the bank part, but it doesn't look much like a dog at the moment, so you need to give him some features. Cut a strip of cardboard box card and wrap it around the back of the bottle for a collar. Put on some tape to hold it into place. For paws, scrunch up 2 sausages of newspaper, mould them so that they're slightly flat at the bottom, and then place them either side of the head, taping them into place. On it goes, and do the same with both paws. Then scrunch up a little more newspaper and pad out the lid of the bottle to make a more rounded nose. And try not to put any tape on the inside, just around the edge like that, otherwise you won't be able to screw the lid back on. Let's see. Yes, perfect. For ears, cut out diamond shapes with curved points at the end from cereal box card. Cut a line from one of the points roughly into the centre, and if you overlap the 2 halves slightly and put on some tape, you get a floppy ear shape. And make 2 in the same way and tape them to either side of the head and just bend them into shape as you go. So that's your basic dog shape. Now you need to make him a kennel, and for that you're going to need some A3 size cardboard box card. Draw a simple house shape with a pointy roof and then cut it out, and use it as a template to draw around and cut out another house shape that's exactly the same. On one of the card pieces, draw an archway for a door and then cut that out. Then glue the 2 pieces together. On it goes. And then you can add on detail like a couple of card strips to make a roof. And if you cut the ends at angles, they fit together perfectly. On goes the glue, and on it goes. And if you cut out a little diamond shape to cover the join, and you could even add a little rectangle for a name plaque. And then finally, dab some nice strong glue on the back of your dog. On it goes, and on he goes. Stick him into place. Now you may need to hold him in place while the glue dries, but when it has, you'll have something that looks like this. And now all that's left is the finishing touches. Mix some PVA glue with a little water and paste a layer of kitchen paper all over the dog. But be careful not to glue over the slot or the nose. See that? Just line the paper up with the slot. And when the dog is completely covered, leave it to dry and it'll be ready to paint. How's about some brown ears and maybe patches over his eyes? Black for the nose. And how about blue for the collar? And when you've done the dog, make the outside of the kennel a wood effect. And you can streak in different shades of brown. And when you finish painting it and it's dry, you'll have something like this. And as you can see, I've added on some detail with the black marker. I've made the kennel look like it's been made from planks of wood, and I've put his name on the plaque there. And I've even given the nose a coat of PVA glue, because when it dries, it goes all shiny, just like a real dog. Now all you need to do is start saving your money. Just pop it in the slot like that. Try it yourself, a doggy bank. Here I am, walking down the road, but this is no ordinary road. This is Brands Hatch, the home of British Grand Prix motor racing since the 1960s. Brands Hatch is legendary. It's known throughout the world. Brands Hatch is motor racing. But today, it's the home of one big art attack. Let's motor. Here's a great way of drawing one of those huge medieval castles that you see in the movies. Just start with a square for the front wall. And then 2 rectangles for turrets. And then a triangle on the top of each for like a roof. And an arch here for an entrance. And that's your basic castle shape. But it's also very boring. So, slightly round the bottom of the turrets and towers, like that, and on the top there. Also, split these towers, and then add battlements along the top here. That's the bits on the top of the wall that look like teeth. In fact, the more of those battlement type shapes that you do, the more fancier and grander your castle looks. And here's a neat little trick. If you add in lots of little windows, it makes the castle look bigger. In fact, the smaller the windows, the bigger the castle looks. This one is going to look huge. And don't forget, you can add in a portcullis. How about some shading on these towers and turrets? Oh, and don't forget the wavy flags. That's better. But hang on, I did say a huge castle, didn't I? Well, some of those big castles took years and years to build, and they just kept adding bits on over the years. So, OK, here goes. Let's add some bits on over the years. Just add in more walls and towers and turrets. Don't forget the windows, tiny to make it look huge. Lots of shading. And how about making it really grand by doing another castle inside the outer walls of the first? Even some block squarish towers. And don't forget the fancy battlements. As the years fly by, just keep adding bits on. The flags on the top. And how about a few grand staircases here and there, a drawbridge, a moat with some squiggle reflections to show the water, and just keep going. The more you put in, the bigger it looks. Not bad for a few thousand years' work, eh? And you can colour it in if you want to. This one's painted in watercolours, or you can make it scary and haunted. Or how about using pastel colours and turning it into a fairy tale castle in the clouds? Try it yourself. Lots of walls, towers, turrets and fancy bits, and build a castle that gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Do you know, I love discovering artists that use unusual materials to make really imaginative art attacks. Danny Manning is one of those artists. Check this out. Ah, this is the part of my job I really love. I get to look at some of your art attacks in the Art Attack Gallery, and they're all brilliant. Take a look at this lot. Ah, this is a colourful looking fruit bowl, Amy, with a great selection of fruits. I love the way you've used big blocks of colour and outlined them in black. It makes everything really stand out. And Kent's painting looks like it's been influenced by an old master artist called Cézanne. The muted colours used give his painting a great atmospheric quality. And Eleanor's art attack is of a gingerbread man. Look at the body, a great texture. And she's finished him off beautifully with a yellow waistcoat covered in green glitter. Brilliant. And I love Matthew's art attack. He's drawn a monster-like face and stuck it to a piece of card to create an original bookmark. Yeah, nice one, Matthew. What a great idea for a bookmark. Do you know what? I'm always losing my place when I'm reading a book, so I use a bookmark. But then I lose the bookmark. So I've come up with a foolproof bookmark that doesn't fall out. A Klingon bookmark. Draw your bookmark design onto some thin card. Now draw something that clings, like this koala bear. And when you're finished, cut it out. Then place it down onto some more card and draw around the bit that clings, like his arm and his leg. Just finish his leg and then make his arm a bit longer, like that. And then join the ends of those two lines up and then cut it out, turn it over and fold over the edge to make a sort of tab. Then colour in both bits and tape or glue the tab part to the back of your bookmark. And when you do this, make sure that the two bits line up. And you'll now have arms and legs that grab. Then open up your Klingon bookmark and on one set of arms and legs, stick on two magnets, like that, and on the other two metal paper clips. And then take some strong glue, like PVA glue, dab a bit on there, and goes the magnets, and do the same on the other side with the paper clips. And when you finish gluing, leave it to dry and you'll have something that looks like this. And those magnets stick to the paper clips, meaning that your bookmark can cling on to the page that you want to save. So, okay, let's give it a go. Just find yourself a page, on it goes, like that, and there he is, clinging on, and that's not going anywhere. Perfect. And there are all sorts of Klingon bookmarks you can make. How about a squirrel? And there he is, climbing up, well, not the tree, but the book. Or even this woodpecker pecking away at the inside of the book. Or even a gripping climber climbing up the side of my book, keeping page. And look at that, it's going nowhere. Try it yourself, Klingon bookmarks, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra!